Hey guys. So I just came to a realization tonight. Felt that God was talking to me strongly. He said, "You know, I chose you because I thought you could be used to reach the most people." And when he was saying that to me, he wasn't just like, "I chose you specifically." He was talking about, "I chose all the Christians who are now Christian to be the light of the world, to be the salt of the earth, to be the people that would shine into the darkness of this world that we're living in right now." And that's right, he chose the foolish of the world to shame the wise, and the weak of the world to shame the strong. He chose the poor people, he chose the homeless guy, he chose the sick or the weak or the diseased or the troubled or those with mental illness or those with behavioral problems. So maybe you're a Christian and you're thinking, did God choose me to tell others about him? Well, if you're struggling with problems, maybe you have an addiction, maybe you have some personal problems at home, maybe you have family issues, God chose you. Maybe you have a speech impediment. Maybe you're not that smart. Maybe you're not that well educated, or your degree sucks, or you don't have a good job, or you're broke. God chose you. God chose the dregs of this world. He chose the people without talent, the people who are empty, who are broken, who have nothing left inside, who've lost their hope. He chose all those people because in order for him to shine his light, he needed an empty vessel. And so I think that through some of the struggles that I've been going through in my life recently, with some health challenges and some conflicts and stuff, and just going through this whole lockdown with the coronavirus, and now more recently hearing all the social strife with the riots and all that, and it's made me kind of depressed, and sometimes I feel really down deep inside, and I thank God for that though, because when I get down to the bottom and I feel no hope for this life, and I feel God can't use me for anything and I'm worthless, when I feel that, that is when God can speak through me, because I don't have me to speak out anymore. All I've got is him. When you're so dry, you have no, let's say you're hungry, you're thirsty, you have nothing inside of you. As soon as you start eating, as soon as you start drinking, you start to get filled up. So when we seek God and we put him first, we have the opportunity to be filled by him and be used by him tremendously. And you look at some of the most powerful evangelists in the world, some of the most powerful preachers, some of the most powerful Christians out there. They're not the richest people in the world. They're not the smartest people in the world. They're not like the accomplished people like the Jeff Bezos and all that. They're either normal people who haven't really accomplished much in other regards, or they're people with serious challenges. People who don't have a lot of money, people who have noticeable disabilities. I've seen a lot of people who go around the world and who travel to many different countries, people like Nick Vujicic. They can get into almost any country in the world and talk about God, and people will listen to them. And they have a tremendous testimony, and they give hope to a lot of people who have nothing, people who are poor, people who are disregarded in society, who have no social status, who have no friends, who have no life. God uses those people. So if you're feeling down because of where you are in life right now, maybe because of the lockdown, maybe because of business or work, or you're not where you want to be at in your career, your education, or just when you see your country going insane and you feel depressed about that, it's actually a time to rejoice because God can use you now. God can use you in your broken state. He can fill you up and he can speak through you. Just like he can speak through the mountains, he can speak through a rock, he can use anyone. So I'm convinced that in my broken, incomplete state, I am much more powerful. And we are all much more powerful. And maybe I cannot do much. Maybe I don't have much to contribute to society or the world. But cumulatively, as Christians, we all have so much to offer, whether it's our work or our words or our heart, our love, our friendship. We have so much to give. And as Christians, we have God inside of us, and he can speak through our actions, through our words. And we're not perfect vessels. We make mistakes, and we still have parts of our personality and our behavior that it's not so good. But I mean, hey, if God can use this gaunt, bald guy who's not really that accomplished in his career, I'm sure that he can use you. He can use anyone. So you should rejoice as a Christian that you are in the position you're in. If you're in a challenging time, if you're in a challenging place in your life, or if you feel like you're at the bottom rung, and God will use you at that bottom. You know, you look at people who are prisoners or who were slaves, who had ministry opportunities to speak to the people who they dealt with, and it was amazing what they did throughout history. You look at some of the people like Mother Teresa. You look at some of the evangelists who went all over the world. They didn't have a lot of money. They set up orphanages. They set up organizations, and maybe they died without a penny to their name, but they left a legacy for the world, and they invested in the hearts and souls and minds of people, and that's what really matters. So don't feel bad about your inadequacies. In fact, the more inadequate you are, the more God can speak through you, because the less you have of you to show the world. So if you're incompetent, if you're not a good speaker, if you're not talented in anything, God can use you for what you are and multiply it. So I just wanted to encourage you, for all the Christians out there who feel kind of defeated and feel like they don't really have any impact, now is your time to shine. And maybe it's just in a small way. Maybe you only impact one person in a significant way, but that person could be like the next Billy Graham. That person could be the next prime minister. Who knows? So please do your part. We all need to do our part. Just shine like light and be like salt. And you're going to make some mistakes. We're going to screw up sometimes, and we're going to tick off some people, say the wrong things. That's just human, right? But we'll do our best. And I think that people can look through the veneer and see that God is with us. So I encourage you to draw close to God and just empty yourself and ask for more of him and less of you. Have a great day. Bye.